Hello everybody and welcome to the first ever episode of O-Town Go Town. My name is Chris and I am here in Kissimmee, Florida outside of Old Town, which is our first place that we're going to for O-Town Go Town. So, if you don't know, this is a brand new series we're doing on the Thrill Seekers channel where we're going to explore local area attractions that aren't theme parks. We wanted to do this because there's a lot of really cool places around the Central Florida area that people might not go to all the time just because of the theme parks. You know, everybody likes to focus on Disney and Universal and SeaWorld, and if you're willing to drive a few hours, Busch Gardens. But you might not check out all these places like you probably should. So we're going to take some time out to go explore some of these smaller local attractions, try them out for ourselves, and give you our critiques on whether we think you should check them out or not. So I'm going to start at Old Town. Right now I'm by myself, although Shelby might be joining me later, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to head over to Old Town and check it out so you can see exactly what goes on here. So let's check out the town on O-Town Go Town. Of course, as soon as you pull up to Old Town, you notice these cool jukebox looking arches, advertisements for all the different businesses in the district, as well as just cool looking. Old Town has changed a lot over the years. I actually used to come here when I was a kid. It became very, very commercial, and now it's kind of dialed everything back a little bit. So it's going to be interesting to see how it looks. But the idea behind it was it used to be this kind of like old-timey town where you could go in, you could go to a candy store and buy candy for like a nickel and a quarter and check out all these kind of local small businesses. It's become a bit more commercial now, but we're gonna go check it out. So I'm gonna wander around and let you know what I think of the area. They do have a couple upcharge thrill rides outside of Old Town. They have the Vomitron, which is basically a little swing pendulum thing where you sit in those seats and you're spun around in circles really, really high, really, really fast. Not my cup of tea, that's for sure. And then even less my cup of tea is the giant slingshot where you get launched up in the air super high and then you come all the way down. Yeah, neither of those are for me, but if you're a super thrill seeker and want to be launched around circles on the Vomitron or launched up and down on the slingshot, you have options. Kind of the new focal point for Old Town is going to be the Ferris wheel. This is a new Ferris wheel. They used to have a whole bunch of like carnival style rides that were outside of Old Town. Now it's just this one Ferris wheel, but it looks pretty nice. So I'm sure it's probably expensive to ride it, but pretty cool. And who knows, maybe if Shelby joins me and we decide we want to try it, we might do it. So pretty cool looking Ferris wheel. It lights up at night. It looks really nice at night. Cool little photo op if you want to pretend you're driving to Old Town. There you go. It's just right inside the entrance. It's a little photo spot. So pretty cool. They're still doing lots of construction on Old Town right now. It's kind of a reimagining of the area. Apparently they're building a garage themed bar opening in 2019. And then up there, this large plot of land next to the Ferris wheel is going to be a Shoney's. So they're doing a lot of work, making a lot of changes to Old Town, but hopefully when it's all done, it's going to be pretty nice and a really good place to spend your time. So over on this side of the street, you have Frogger's, which is kind of a sports bar. You have a Flipper's Pizzeria, which is a local chain. Flipper's is actually pretty good. They have some good food there. And then a Mexican grill right over there. There's lots of restaurants and shops. Of course, we're going to take a look around and see what we can find. I like these cool little retro posters that they've got outside some of the shops. 5-cent cigars, and then of course this retro Pepsi ad. And playing like 50s and 60s music. Kind of tries to give the place a bit of an ambiance, you know? So, kind of cool. Of course, Old Town is right next to Fun Spot America's Kissimmee location. So if you're looking for more traditional, kind of like theme parky experience, you could go over to Fun Spot and check that out. They've got a few roller coasters and some other stuff. I don't think we're gonna actually go over to Fun Spot today, but I probably will at some point and try to ride some stuff over there just to say I've done it. So, but still, if you're looking for more of a traditional theme park experience, you can head over to Fun Spot and do more carnival-y stuff. Pretty cool. Apparently over at Jimmy John's over here in the corner, you can get some free smells. Gotta love free things, especially smells. Smells are great. Here's an interesting looking apparel store right in the entrance called Groovy. It looks like they sell a bunch of like kind of 60s inspired stuff as well as more modern stuff, like there's a Star Wars shirt. But that's pretty cool, and they have lots of little stores like this that sell stuff you might not normally find when going to like the touristy places of town. So kind of cool to see places like this. Here's a store that sells mostly like rock and roll apparel. You can see lots of shirts from like Pink Floyd and other bands. They also have some more other shirts, like they have a Game of Thrones shirt and they have a Walking Dead shirt over here. So another interesting looking apparel stuff. And then right up here, we have a store that's entirely devoted to magnets. They used to have one actually at downtown Disney back before it became Disney Springs. Maybe this is where it moved. But as you can see inside, there's all kinds of cool magnets. So if you're looking for a nice magnet to put on your fridge or wherever, this is probably a good place to go. Here's the British shop. It's designed to look kind of like outside of a British double-decker bus. There's of course a Royal Guard outside, and they've got lots of British merch inside if you can look around, as well as apparently some ice cold beer for fairly cheap. $2.60 for a beer. It's not terrible, especially in a touristy area like this. So kind of cool. So if you're looking for some British memorabilia, it's a good place to go. This is kind of a unique thing. Auntie Anne's, of course, are all over malls across America, but what's kind of cool about this one is they serve beer. Apparently they got a bunch of good deals for beer, like you can buy 2 for $6 on all bottled, $3 large domestic draft, and a free pretzel if you purchase 4 beers. So drink your alcohol and get a free pretzel if you want to go to Auntie Anne's. It's pretty cool. And of course they have a lot of their standard Auntie Anne's stuff, like their lemonades and pretzels and all kinds of stuff. So that's pretty cool. So looking for some cheap snacks and drinks, this might be a good place to go. This is kind of a cool bench. It looks like the back of a Dodge truck. It's got a bumper on it. It's got the Dodge truck latch thing. I don't know trucks very well, but it's pretty cool looking. It's outside this store that's all devoted to like kind of retro, like 50s and 60s style stuff. So again, pretty cool and pretty interesting merchandise offerings here at Old Town. Now this is the place I definitely want to come back to on Big C TV. It's called Sweet Dreams Cafe, and they serve homemade ice cream. It's always cool to find places like little old school soda fountain type places that have their own ice cream. So I'm probably gonna have to peek in there and see what's going on with it, but that's pretty cool. So this is something I think I want to come back and do as part of Halloween Spooktacular. That is Mortem Manor. Is a haunted attraction here at Old Town. They have some kind of burial simulator where you feel like you're buried alive, kind of like the movie Buried with Ryan Reynolds. They also have a 2-story haunted house, and you can do both for 18 bucks. I mean, $15 for a haunted house. That's pretty cool, actually. So definitely something I might have to come back and check out. I don't know with who though, because Shelby and Corey won't do it. But I'll find somebody who will join me to do Mortem Manor, because it sounds pretty cool. Here's another more scenic view of Mortem Manor. As you can see, it's got a very impressive looking facade. It looks like a haunted house. Pretty cool looking. So again, I definitely want to check it out at some point. Maybe later on when I find somebody who's brave enough to do it with me. If you're looking for a store that sells all those as seen on TV kind of things, here's the as seen on TV store. All those things you see advertisements for online or on the when you're watching TV, especially daytime TV. You can just walk in this store and buy them without having to pay those 12 easy payments of $19.99 for them. So kind of cool. And right next to it we have a sports store called Teams. They sell actual like jerseys and officially licensed sports gear. So that's pretty cool. Looks like they got some nice old school sports jerseys as well as some more modern stuff. So if you're looking for sports apparel, this might be a good place to go. Looks pretty cool inside, actually. So, nice. Here's another cool little photo op where you can take a picture with the front of a car on a wall. They have lots of fun little photo ops like this, so lots of cool things to look at while you're wandering around Old Town. This is a kind of cool little thing. They have a rootin' tootin' shooting gallery with a car that looks clearly ripped off of Cars. So, kind of interesting, but you can like shoot different targets, and it's kind of like the one at Magic Kingdom. They also have one at Knott's that's kind of like that. And then they got this like old school handshake thing. That's pretty cool. And of course a claw machine, because why not? So that's kind of a unique little thing you can do while you're here if you're looking for something kind of silly to do and spend a couple bucks. It's not every day you find a store entirely devoted to beef jerky, but here you go. This is the beef jerky outlet here at Old Town. If you look inside, You can see there's a whole bunch of different varieties of beef jerky on the wall. I've also got some like specialty espresso cordials and popcorn. I got some cool stuff in there. So again, another unique offering that might be worth your time if you're looking for some unique merchandise options around Old Town. Only $1 to make him holler. Viewer discretion advised. So I'm assuming this is a way to like shock this dude. I don't know why you want to pay $1 for that, but you can if you really want to. It's kind of unique thing. So this is kind of cool. They have an old school like arcade in here. They've got this like Walking Dead game, a Jurassic Park game, all kinds of cool stuff. You don't see arcades that often anymore, so it's kind of cool when they have one. And of course, they also serve food. You can get some fries, you can get some wings, some fried ravioli. So definitely sounds like this is a good place to bring the kids, or even just have a good old time. But there's lots of cool stuff in here. So pretty nice. Here's a roasted nut stand that has all kinds of different roasted nuts. They got chips, they have empanadas. Apparently Columbia Coffee is soon, whatever that means. You don't see that many A&W locations around anymore, and of course Old Town has one. Of course, the best thing about these is they have fresh brewed A&W root beer, as well as you can get some really good root beer floats. So this place is great. I'm probably gonna have to enjoy that, maybe even before I leave, but it's pretty cool. So this is kind of cool. Black Market Mineral Mining. It's a place where you can mine for like different rocks and stuff. This is a cool little display about that, so that's kind of a unique offering, that's for sure. But yeah, here's the information about petrified wood if you ever wanted to learn more about how petrified wood is petrified. Pretty interesting. Another interesting looking attraction is they've got the Great Magic Hall, where they have different magic show stuff that happens. Apparently they got matinees, they got different show times, they have a tour. So kind of cool. I will say I'm a little bit spoiled because I have seen several shows over at the Magic Castle in Hollywood, which is pretty spectacular. But yeah, pretty interesting. It's kind of a cool little facade for the Extreme Woodcrafts gift shop. They have all kinds of wood-crafted items. Pretty interesting, unique. I guess this is kind of the Asian corner of the town, because we got Bamboo Court, which is a Chinese restaurant. Down over here you have the Lucky Mouse Chinese gifts, so they have different Chinese inspired gifts. Prices actually are pretty good. Teriyaki chicken for $3.74. That's solid. I don't know how good it is, but seems like a good price. We have Egyptian gifts. I guess that's not Asian, but Egyptian gifts. Lots of Sphinx and that kind of stuff. And then of course we have the Mini Queen Japanese gift store. So lots of different Asian and Egyptian styled merch over here. Pretty cool. Here we are outside the general store. So we got the soap company where they make specialty soaps, and then this is the general store where they sell, you know, various Old Town merch as well as beer, wine, snacks. They have, of course, draft beers, all kinds of cool stuff. So I'm gonna probably walk around there for a little bit, but yeah, they got some pretty nice stuff over here. So since I was walking through the general store, I figured, you know what, let's get a classic glass bottle Pepsi. So it's only $1, which is pretty nice. Pretty good. Glass bottle Coke has kind of a distinct flavor, and I guess it's just too. I haven't really had glass bottle Pepsi very often, so it's good though. It's made with real sugar, so that's nice. Hey, another kind of unique experience here at Old Town. When you get to the very end of Old Town, they have some pretty standard carnival style rides from Fun Spot. I'm assuming Fun Spot actually operates Old Town, I guess. And apparently they're getting ready to set up some mazes for their Halloween event, which is kind of cool. But yeah, so we got all that, and then of course we have a popcorn store that sells specialty popcorn. So that's kind of unique. I might go take a look and see what they've got in there. But so that's the gist of our overall tour of Old Town. It's a lot of kind of interesting shops, some kind of unique offerings. We'll see if I experience some more stuff before I call it a day, just because Shelby hasn't come in yet. So I might go check out some more stuff before we wrap. So I did go in and try some of the popcorn over at the Kissimmee Popcorn Company, and they do offer free samples. So if there's a flavor you want to try, you can actually just walk in there and request it. I tried 2 different flavors. I tried cheesecake and I tried orange cream, and they have a ton of flavors in there. Both the flavors I tried were mediocre at best, probably more not good. The popcorn was kind of stale. The orange cream one was really sticky, and neither had a ton of flavor. So I think in terms of specialty popcorn places, you might be looking at a better place if you look elsewhere. I mean, it's an interesting idea, and I wish the popcorn was a little bit better, but not the greatest experience. So, just so you know. Alright, so I wanted to share my final thoughts. It looks like Shelby's not going to be arriving till a lot later, so he's not going to make it for this video, unfortunately. But I wanted to share my final thoughts on Old Town. I think it's a pretty interesting place. In terms of a destination, I don't think there's enough here to really draw you in. However, I think if you're looking for kind of a casual, relaxing day, maybe away from the parks for a little bit, it might be worth the stroll. I think this place definitely appeals more toward the tourist crowd than locals, although there is some stuff that I think would appeal to locals, like the haunted house is kind of cool. They do some special events every week. They have a car event every week, which is kind of cool. And of course, it's next to Fun Spot, so if you go in the Fun Spot already, you might as well come over here and get some food or whatever. So I think it's an interesting place. I don't think it's someplace you have to, like, strive to go to, but I think it's kind of interesting, and I think there's stuff that's worth checking out over here. So that's my recommendation. I would say, you know, come check out Old Town, see it for yourself. If any of those shops that I showed you seem particularly interesting, go inside, take a look, see if there's anything you're looking for. But overall, I think it's an interesting place. Not a ton of stuff to do, but I mean, it's kind of cool, and there's some good shops and restaurants and stuff here. So I'm sure it'll probably be better as time goes on. Now, all of that being said, I do eventually want to try the Ferris wheel, and I do want to go to Moreton Manor, so I will probably do separate videos on those later on. But this is just my overall thoughts on Old Town after taking that kind of walking tour of the area. So anyway, that's going to do it for this first ever episode of O Town Go Town. Please let me know what you think of the series, and if there are any other local Orlando attractions you want to check out. There's a few other ones we're looking at possibly doing as soon as this week. So keep an eye out for more Old Town Go Town videos, and whenever we find a cool local Orlando attraction that we want to check out, we will showcase it right here on the Thrill Seekers channel. So that's going to do it for this first ever episode of O Town Go Town. Hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Bye.